The Trump shock is perhaps the first time ever for the Japanese to be really shaken to the core.
Welcome to Tokyo.
The U.S.-Japanese relationship has long been one defined by military and economic interests. From the 19th century to World War II, Japan has seen tremendous change at U.S. hands. Today, the two countries remain close allies with an ongoing U.S. military presence in Japan. But with President Trump openly questioning that relationship, some in Japan have begun to ask their own questions. So we're here to find out what the Japanese are thinking right now.
What do you think is the biggest difference between American politics and Japanese politics?
日本では自分の意見を表現するときに人間関係についてすごく気を使います。
You have often heard that in this culture, if you stick out, you will get hammered down. If you look at members of Japanese politics, interestingly, including opposition party members, very few people openly have voiced anything derogatory about President Trump.
I think American politics is aggressive, but Japanese politics is not aggressive.
And which one is better?
I think American politics is better.
If the United States is an immigrant society, as a result, almost by definition, that cherishes changes, polar opposite may be Japan. After all, what makes Japan Japan may be its continuity.
We have not seen that very much virulent populism in this country and polarization either. Perhaps, there may be other reasons. But in late 1990s, major Japanese banks really went bankrupt. Several top CEOs, executives of the banks are being put into jail. Compared to that, there was nobody in the Wall Street being put to jail.
Is the American presence here a source of resentment or a source of friendly relations?
Ambivalence, love and hate, mixed emotions, and that has colored Japanese sentiment toward the Americans for many decades.
私は戦争を経験したもんですからあんまりいい気は持ってませんね。
After Japan was defeated in World War II, the United States occupied Japan for 6 years and 8 months. And I would say that that was one of the most benevolent occupation. Did not usher in any cycle of revenge between the victor and the vanquished. That's rare, actually, in human history.
But the early post-war generation pretty much understood the necessity of having U.S. forward deployed forces because that was right in the middle of East-West confrontation.
Japan actually is perhaps most benefited from this American-led and American-based alliance system.
I'm appreciate for American Army for protecting us. Yeah.
In the 1980s, as Japan's economy grew, you even had people who started to say there would be nothing more to be learned from the United States. Hubris set in. Fast forward to 2018, if you look at poll figures taken among the younger generations of the Japanese, they don't have strong views about the presence of the U.S. forces.
アメリカがですか？よくない？全然わかんないです。すいません。
You said North Korea has nukes, Japan has a problem with that. I mean, they have a big problem with that. Maybe they would, in fact, be better off if they defend themselves from North Korea. And Chris Wallace says, with nukes...
You're talking about World War III. Somebody attacks Japan and we end up in World War III.
It's a cogent
And by the
point,
way, no, listen to this. If we get attacked, Japan doesn't have to defend us, okay? That's pretty bad.
I think that Japanese are deeply concerned about where the United States is heading for under the Trump administration.
なんか今みんな気使ってる感じですよね、トランプさんにはね。特に安倍さんなんかも北朝鮮の人も、まあチャイナの
裏と表とも全然違うこと言ってるから何を自分が追求してるのかそれから世界をどうしたいのかっていうのが
防衛してもらわないと困るの日本じゃねそれは大変そこはやっぱり今まで通りずるいかもしれないけど別のこと提案すればいいと思うのね。
Before, I thought it's really good for us because they protect us. But recently, I'm changing my mind.
Japan has to be more independent. We need American military in Japan, but we have to stand up right now.